You tried every single manifestation technique out there and nothing is working. I have a technique that I want to share with you today that has to fail me yet. With this technique, you can manifest anything. And the best part, it doesn't require hours of writing, repeating affirmations, or hours of visualizing. Today, I want to share how you can manifest anything by combining intention, geometric patterns, and a couple of crystals. I've manifested some really incredible things using crystal grids. I'm also a crystal practitioner. I've facilitated crystal healing sessions. I offer chakra balancing sessions, and crystals are just near and dear to my heart because they've helped me personally so much. So welcome to the Crystal Bubble. Before we dive into the step-by-step guide and how you can use this technique for yourself, I want to share a little bit of a background. The power of a crystal grid lies in a combination between your intention, the energy of the crystals, and sacred geometry. You might be familiar already with a couple of sacred geometry patterns. The Flower of Life, for example, the Phi Spiral, or Metatron's Cube. That's just a couple of long list of sacred geometry patterns. You use the sacred geometry in combination with crystals that have a high vibration. It will just amplify your manifestation power and creates a powerful energy field around it. All you really need to do is strategically place crystals on that given pattern. As I said, there is quite a few sacred geometry patterns. If you want a digital download, I have one on my shop. I'll link it below. Crystals you want to use in your grid really depends on what you want to bring into your life. So if you want to attract love and compassion and self-love, rose quartz would be the stone to go. If you are looking for more creativity or a boost of joy, being a little bit more brave, if you're a fellow creative that isn't seen at the moment and it stems from low self-worth, you're afraid of being seen and putting yourself out there, something like sunstone carnelian would be the go-to crystals. You want to limit the crystals you use, and I usually go by the rule of 3 crystals plus clear quartz. The reason being is that if you use too many different crystals, the energies are just all out there, and sometimes the crystals don't even go together that well. So I would say max 3, but I've also used crystal grids with using only 1 stone, and that is clear quartz. Clear quartz is the master healer and is also an amplifying crystal, meaning whatever you use in combination with clear quartz will amplify its energy. Another amazing thing about clear quartz is that you can program clear quartz with any intention you have. You want to manifest love, abundance, joy, you're dealing with grief, you want to heal something in your body, you have pain, clear quartz. Use it for everything. And the best part, it is also one of the cheapest crystals, so you don't have to spend all your hard-earned money on all the crystals. For the step-by-step instructions on how you can use it, I will use the example of manifesting money because it's the easiest to explain and you don't need to buy a whole lot of things. All you need is a piece of paper and you're gonna draw a lemon's gate, also known as the infinity sign. What does the infinity sign mean? It means it's going to infinity. There is no end. There is never-ending supply. So that's why the infinity sign is usually used in manifesting money. You're gonna draw this infinity sign on a piece of paper, and we're gonna start by thinking about your intention when it comes to money. So I'm sure you've been into manifesting, you know you have to get really clear on what you want. What I like to do is use a little post-it note and write an affirmation on my post-it note. I am receiving an additional $500 in my bank account. Then you're gonna fold it. What I like to do is I'm folding it towards myself. And then I turn it, I fold it again, and I turn it, I fold it again. As many times as you can. And you're gonna place this on the crossing intersection of the infinity sign. Next, you wanna place your biggest crystal that you have on top in the middle. For abundance, I would recommend citrine, tiger's eye, green aventurine, or clear quartz. If you have citrine, tiger's eye, green aventurine, and clear quartz, you can use them all. It goes by my rule, 3 crystals plus the 4th is the clear quartz. If you only have a clear quartz, you can use that as well. If you only have a citrine, works just as good. A little note about citrine. Citrine is a little bit more expensive than your regular amethyst or rose quartz or a clear quartz stone. And a lot of manufacturers have found a little secret. So they will place an amethyst, sometimes just like this, on a little cluster, and they will heat it up really, really high temperature. And what happens is that all these purple spikes will turn yellow, and they will sell it to you as citrine. If they're a good crystal shop, they will tell you it's heat treated citrine. But I want you to be aware, because some people really charge a lot, and citrine doesn't grow in clusters. So if you ever see something on a bedrock like this, it's not citrine, it's most likely heat-treated amethyst. It will still have the properties of amethyst, but it will not give you the properties of citrine just by having a different color. What you're going to do next is you're going to place the biggest circle on top of your note, on top of your affirmation. Again, make sure the affirmation is written in the present tense or as it's already happened. You're going to place the biggest one you have on top. And then I like to place the crystal on the line around it. If you have more than one crystals, you can let your creativity flow. You can place them in a certain order. You only have one crystal, just fill up the lines of the infinity sign. And it doesn't need to be filled so you can't see the line anymore. Sometimes it's enough if you have 3 crystals or maybe 5. It doesn't need to be a real full grid. Then you're going to place this whole grid into a space where you're sure that nobody is going to knock it over. Especially for my people with animals, I feel like dogs are more behaved than cats. My cats always knock them over. So please put it somewhere safe where it can be for at least 2 weeks. And you want to make sure that nobody is touching it, moving the crystals. You're just going to leave it there. The last step is the most essential of it all. You need to activate your grid. I'm going to be doing that by using another crystal. If you have some kind of pointed crystal, I usually like my clear quartz. Again, it's the master healer and it amplifies the energies. You can just hover it around and then connect the dots. Okay, so make sure every single crystal is connected with another. Just visualize whatever you put on your note. You're going to do this a couple of times to make sure that every single crystal is combined with another crystal. If you are a crystal junkie like me and you have a ton of them at home, what you can do additionally is to place clear quartz around every single stone that you've placed. What I like to do at the end is placing the crystal next to my grid, and I am thanking the universe or what you believe in, and I'll just leave it there. And that's really it. If you don't have a clear quartz point or not an additional clear quartz, you can also connect the dots with your hand. I usually like to place my left hand on my heart while I do this, just to feel the intention, visualize what I want to manifest, and then I connect the dots that way. You don't have to check, you don't have to visualize, you don't have to write affirmations. You can, that's additional if you want to, but just leave it there and let it do its thing. In the case of someone knocking over your crystal grid, don't panic, it's all okay. Just redo the crystal grid, connect the dots again, activate it, and just leave it again. So if you notice somebody touched it or you don't like their energy, you can just redo it and nothing else will happen. I will link everything I talked about below. I have a bunch of crystals in my shop. I also have a crystal grid PDF that you can print out and use right away to get all your manifestations going. Another beautiful thing I love about crystal grids is that you can personalize it. Let's say you want to send some healing energy to your loved ones. Ask for permission first, okay? And then use a picture of them in a healthy, happy state. And that could be your centerpiece. So instead of doing the note, you would place the picture of them in the center and then your crystal on top. The rest still stays the same. If you want to manifest abundance and money, I have this. I will link it below also. It's a golden $100 bill, and I like to place this on top of my infinity sign Lemon Skate crystal grid, just to give it a little bit more power. If you want to go extra with manifesting money, abundance, and everything else, green and yellow are the abundance colors. So if you maybe have green candles, if you have a yellow scarf, you can all place it. There is so much creativity and you should make it your own, so it really feels like you. The stones itself don't have to be huge either. So I have, this is a tumbled citrine. I have that in my shop as well. That is a tumbled clear quartz, and even if their shapes are kind of odd, that's just nature and that's beautiful. So they don't have to be all the same size and the same shape. There's a little bigger one, so that could also work as a centerpiece. What I usually like for the centerpiece is towers. So this is an amethyst tower. I would just place it in the center of your grid. And it doesn't matter which grid, you're always going to start with the center stone. It could also be a cluster. This is an amethyst cluster that you can place on your grid as well. There is so much more to know about crystals. If you want me to do a deep dive on that topic, I can totally make a whole video dedicated to crystals. Let me know in the comments if you would like me to do that. Even though crystal grids might be my favorite way to manifest, this technique that I'm showing you right here has to be at the top as well. Please watch to learn about the ladder technique by Neville Goddard. Go and be your favorite self. I'll see you soon.